Good afternoon, I'm still Jeremy, and I'm on my way to explore the Rokkō Cable Car in Kōbe, Japan. But I'm in Osaka, so I got to get there. It's kind of a long, circuitous trip there. At long last, the Rokkō Cable Car Station. Thank you, Bus 106. Looks quiet. This cable car opened in March 1932. It was then called the Rokko Arima Railway. A flood destroyed the bottom station here in 1938, so unlike the top station, this isn't original. This redesign is actually from the 1970s.
これ買ったら、もうバス小銭とかで払わなくてもいいんですけど、10円高い。これと別にバス払うとトータルでこの10円高い。はい、ありがとうございます。
Okay, he explained that there's a special combination ticket for the cable car and the bus I want to take on the mountaintop. But if I buy just the cable car ticket here and pay the bus driver directly, it's 10 yen cheaper. So I did that. I'm confused. Why does the combo ticket even exist then? Whoa. Well, I guess I'm not getting a quiet cable car ride all to myself after all. Big tour bus. Sounds like Russian tourists. What puts my missed connections getting here and making me late in a cruel context? Cable cars leave every 20 minutes. I could wait for the one after this group, but I might miss the sunset. Well, well. For a second there, it looked like I might reasonably have most of the cable car to myself here on a quiet Tuesday night. But I guess not. Well, I got here first and then went outside to get a shot of the station from the side, and now I'm last in line. Looks like maybe the second car might have seats available. Not really. I'll just stand here. There's our driver. We'll be going 11 kilometers per hour, ascending 3 meters a second. Maximum angle of 26 degrees. This cable car goes a total distance of 1.7 kilometers. It takes 10 minutes for the entire ride. It actually used to take longer. When the Rokko Arima Railway opened in March 1932, there was a middle station called Shimizu. One cable car would take you from the bottom station, which was called Dobashi in those days, to the halfway point. Then passengers would switch to another cable car the rest of the way up to the top station, which at that time was called Rokkozan. The middle station, Shimizu, and the bottom station, Dobashi, were both destroyed by flooding and landslides in 1938. The company decided to rebuild, but as a single line, with just the top station and a rebuilt bottom one. When the line opened a month later, the middle station was no more.
Thank you for riding the Rokkō Cable Car today. It takes 10 minutes to ascend the 1.7 kilometer length to Rokko Sanjo Station. The station is at an elevation of 737 meters. Attention please. For your safety, keep your face and hands inside this car at all times.
The cable car line actually survived thanks to a weird combination of luck, timing, and circumstance. 6 months before it even opened in September 1931, a ropeway a bit to the west had opened. The two were in direct competition. But during World War II, both were closed down as non-essential because the government needed materials for the war effort. The ropeway's infrastructure was easier to dismantle, so they went for that first. And then the war ended, and since they hadn't gotten around to dismantling the cable car's infrastructure yet, it was allowed to resume service. That's one way to squash your competition. Start a world war and have your rival cannibalized for parts.
We will soon pass a cable car of a different color. For your safety, keep your face and hands inside this car at all times.
It hasn't always been smooth sailing. The line was closed for 6 months following the huge 1995 Hanshin earthquake, and again for 4 months after landslides in 2013, and probably again in the future. But it's always been resumed and run 7 days a week now. The original plan for this line, devised in the 1920s, was a lot more ambitious. A train would go through Kōbe, like the bus I just rode, to the foot of the mountain, be transferred onto a little platform that would lift the train car up the steepest slopes, and then it would continue along regular tracks on the top over to the Arima Hot Springs area on the other side of the mountain. There would have been 5 stations along the length of this route. They eventually decided that the plan was too complicated and it didn't really save any time over a simple cable car and bus system. And it's too bad. That could have become a legendary piece of aspirational rail history in the world. In the 1970s, by the way, the stations were renamed to what they are now: Rokkō Cable Car Shita and Rokko Sanjo, meaning basically Lower Rokko Mountain and Rokko Mountaintop.
車内にお忘れ物、お持ち物などなさいませんようお待ちください。まもなく進行方向に向かいまして右側の扉が開きます。扉からは離れてお待ちください。
Nice little station tourist area. Things are closing for the day, though. I want to go ahead and get on the bus before the crowd. Although actually their tour bus probably drove up here and is picking them up here. The guy said bus stop number 1. Well, there's the view down to Kōbe, but I'll wait to see it on top. I want to get a seat on the bus here. I think this is it. But why is nobody else getting on? I guess most of the people here are part of tour groups with their own buses.
1系統東六甲線記念碑からこれまでミュージアム六甲高山植物園アスレチックパークグリーンや六甲ガーデンテラス経由
Mount Rokko Athletic Park, Rokkō Garden Terrace, and Rokko Alima Ropeway, Sancho Station.
Where I'm going is called Rokkō Garden Terrace. It's a bunch of viewpoints and facilities and things. It occurs to me that all these people might be crowding the spot I want to watch the sunset and see the night views from. Alright, this is more like it. Nice winding road and a rattling little bus. It's about 15 minutes to the Garden Terrace. Not many people at all on this bus, me and 3 others.
The next stop is Rokkō Garden Terrace. R7. Please press the button when you get off.
The Garden Terrace area has long been a tourist destination. The old facilities were all demolished and the current ones, based on English courtyards and gardens, opened in 2003. There are shops and souvenir places and restaurants, but also walking paths and observation decks. I originally planned on coming here a couple months ago, but realized it was the height of summer and school was out and it might be way too crowded. It does seem more laid back tonight. This bus is 370 yen from the cable car station. That times 2 plus my cable car ticket is indeed 10 yen cheaper, like the guy said.
370
ですね。
はい、
はい、
ありがとうございます。
ありがとうございます。I don't use social media, so I have nowhere to deploy a hashtag. I'll just have to show this one. Well, first of all, I want to go see what that big wire mesh thing is. Impressive chalkboard art. That little bus I just took here used to not be necessary. A ropeway went from the upper cable car station to right here. I found a 2021 article from Kōbe newspaper about this rusty green thing. It was part of that ropeway, which had been very popular until the 1995 earthquake. Tourism was down in Kōbe after that, and the ropeway shut down in 2004. The article quotes several people lamenting the ugliness of the structure. But this area is technically in a national park, so if an owner abandons some facility, they have to return the spot to its natural state. Demolishing the ropeway infrastructure is so expensive, though, that the owners technically just suspended it. So it's in limbo officially, unlikely to be reopened or torn down. I'll be sorry to see it go. I think it's one of the most photogenic things up here. I guess this is the main garden terrace building. Nice deck. There's the gang from the cable car. Nice, but I want to see what that mesh thing is before sunset. Okay, how does this work? Rokko Shidare Observatory. Admission 1,000 yen. Sumimasen, 一人でください。ありがとうございます。A leaflet, I guess, for later. I bet that admission price will keep the crowds light up here. This is Sambuichi Hiroshi. He designed all this. He's known for his works emphasizing nature. Appropriate that the official sign about him is stuck in amongst the plants. The name of this place translates into something like the Nature Experience Observation Deck and Rokko Drooping Branches. These poetic phrases on these circles, I think, use obscure or wistful Japanese, meant to recall the mercurial, shifting presence of nature, especially of light. The object itself represents a tree with big drooping branches. In winter, these little white pools have water in them, which freezes. The ice is cut out and placed in a chamber deep inside the mesh tree thing, and is used to cool the inside in the summer. That's a question. It just says, a dream? There's a famous word in Japanese, komorebi. There's no direct English translation, but it means the sunlight filtering through the swaying leaves of a tree. The shidare here was designed to emulate that. Good timing right now for it, too. The wood here is all Japanese cypress. We're at an altitude of almost 1 kilometer up here. The night view to the city below is called the $10 million view. Over there, that tower, that's where I wanted to see the sunset. But it's crowded up there. Might as well stay here. After the sun sets, I can go over there and see the night city view. I wasn't sure before coming, but I think there's an inside part too. Some cool little art installation. This room is called the wind hole, where you can stay dry and watch rain or snow when that's happening. Ah, this is the wind room, cooled by that ice from last winter. It is cool. I have no idea what all of these images are for. I don't know if I'm going to be able to see the actual sun setting after all. Okay, well, standing up here, and the sun came back out from behind the clouds, but this supernatural mist started blowing in from the direction of the ocean. What an atmosphere. It's like we're being invaded by some magical force. It's eerie.
Well, you get some and you give some. Unbelievably scenic and atmospheric, but looks like my view to Kōbe City is going to be completely obscured by clouds.
There's a chairlift here too, over to some other section. I think it's a little amusement park. Closed for the day or for the season? At night, the Shidare lights up. And you can help. Okay, one more thing to do up here at the Shidare. That. Alright, this says Jinsei. It means life.
Okay, well, I have finally finished with the weird mesh dome Shidare thing. What a totally bizarre atmosphere. So I didn't know these clouds were coming, but this fog was coming. I'm going to go over to the original plan, which was spend a couple minutes here and then go over and see the view. It's not dark yet, but it will be dark in half an hour maybe. And we'll see if the clouds clear up at all and I can actually see Kōbe City and the Seto Inland Sea. Arigatou gozaimasu.
Those ladies were talking about going up, but one said, why bother? You can't see anything right now. She's probably right, but let's go see. Alright, I got this all to myself. Can't see a thing. A hollow victory, but a victory nonetheless. So just imagine a sparkling cityscape was down there, Kōbe and Osaka, glittering beside the darkness of the sea.
Okay, this has been a strange trip to the top of Rokkō. The cable car was sort of the least of the wonders, and even that was fun. So I'm going to call it a night here because this fog is not going anywhere tonight. I think tomorrow is supposed to rain, so this is what it's going to look like tonight. But on a clear night, up here you get what they call the $10 million view of Kōbe City, and you can see to Osaka. I think they say you can see, on a real clear day, you can see the Great Awaji Bridge in Awaji Island. Tonight, I'll take this. I like this atmosphere.
This is the plaza with seating that I thought I would be fighting to get a good viewing spot in. Just me and her now. Okay, quickly, I won't win any photography awards for this shot, but this is the Upper Rokkō Cable Car Station. It's the original 1932 Art Deco building, beloved and preserved as it always was. Quite an attractive sight in the daytime, I'm told. Okay, I've got to get out of people's way. Well, not too many people tonight. I already got my ticket. I guess I can get in the line.
Arigatou.
All right, fourth in line. I get to sit pretty much wherever I want. Oh, the bottom car has big open sides. I didn't notice that before. And colored lanterns. The party train pulls out. This cable car runs from 7:10 a.m. until 9:10 p.m. I am kind of curious about what the 7:10 a.m. one is like. I didn't feel like waking up that early. I like how we're illuminating the forest as we go by. I wonder if we'll get a little view of Kōbe as we descend below the fog.
One thing I've learned, hold on to your hat.
A little bit of Kōbe there.
Okay, I'm on the Hankyu train home back to Osaka. I follow all the rules that my app said this time, and it went smoothly. So that's it. Thanks for watching. I'm going to go find some late dinner, reflect on all that happened on Rokko, Mount Rokko. What a great thing. So see you next time. And thanks for watching. And see you next time.
Watch this full extended video, plus more exclusive travelogues, video diaries, and get other stuff at patreon.com/T1DWanderer. Special thanks this week in random order to Darcy Otranto, Lever Wong, Matt Kane, Ray Nichols, Thomas G. Ritchie, Samantha, Michael Fedor, Calvin Ferreira, David Richley, Lars Steenberg, Will Phillips, and Russell Davis. Thanks for wandering around Mount Rokko with me. Everywhere is worth exploring.